Here are the top 10 most powerful mental models that will make you successful. Number 1. Circle of competence. Warren Buffett calls this one of the best mental models that he has ever learned. Now, when it comes to investing, there's an endless amount of stocks to choose from, but you can't be an expert in all of them. Imagine you're replaying a game where you have to figure out which wall has the door behind it. However, the inversion model challenges this conventional approach by suggesting that the opposite solution might actually be the best way forward. Consider the classic example of teaching someone how to tie their shoes. Rather than choosing the most complex explanation, Occam's razor encourages us to select the simplest one that aligns with the available evidence. This is where second-order thinking comes in. For instance, instead of asking whether you should go to college, ask yourself, should I not go to college? What would happen if I decided against it? Exploring the opposite perspective can reveal hidden assumptions and biases that you may not have considered otherwise. In other words, a small percentage of factors often accounts for a significant portion of the results. For example, it's likely that 20% of your customers bring in 80% of your revenue. Do you want to forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more videos like this? Thanks for watching. Applying the 8020 principle involves identifying the vital few inputs that have the most significant impact on the outcome and focusing your efforts on those areas. This can help you prioritize tasks, allocate resources efficiently, and ultimately achieve better results. Instead of trying to manage all of your customers equally, the 8020 principle suggests that you should focus on the 20% of customers who bring in 80% of your revenue. By providing exceptional service to these key customers, you can build stronger relationships and increase their lifetime value. At the same time, you can streamline your efforts with the remaining customers to ensure they also have a positive experience. Overall, the 8020 principle offers a practical approach to maximizing impact and achieving better results with less effort. By considering both sides of the argument, you can make a more informed and balanced decision. It is easy to blame another person for a mistake, when it would be embarrassing to admit to your own fault. However, it's essential to consider all perspectives before jumping to conclusions. Before blaming someone else, take the time to consider whether they genuinely meant to cause harm or if they could be mistaken or uninformed. This model can help you build stronger relationships and foster a more collaborative work environment based on mutual respect and understanding. Additionally, applying Hanlon's razor can help you become a more effective communicator. Instead of assuming that others understand your intentions, take the initiative to clarify your thoughts and listen actively to their perspectives. By doing so, you can reduce misunderstandings and build stronger connections with those around you. Remember that sometimes people's actions may not align with their true intentions due to ignorance or incompetence. So before judging someone else's motives, take the time to understand their perspective and consider all possible explanations. Additionally, inversion can be a useful tool for instead of trying to find a solution to a problem, consider what would cause this problem to occur. By understanding the factors that contribute to the problem, you can develop more effective strategies to prevent it from happening in the future. Furthermore, inversion can help you to appreciate the complexity of issues. By considering the opposite perspective, you may uncover unintended consequences or overlooked complexities that would not have been apparent from your original viewpoint. This can lead to a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of the issue at hand. It encourages us to think beyond the obvious and consider the underlying causes of a problem as well as the potential consequences of different solutions. This approach is particularly useful when dealing with novel or unfamiliar problems that haven't been solved before. By breaking down the problem into smaller, more manageable pieces, you can use existing knowledge and solutions to tackle each part independently. Once you've solved each subproblem, you can then integrate the solutions to arrive at a complete solution for the original problem. For example, if you wanted to design a new product, you could start by defining your goals and target market, then break down the product into its core components and determine the best solution for each component individually. Finally, put the solutions together to create a complete product that meets your objectives. First principles thinking is a powerful mental model that can help you tackle complex problems in a more systematic and efficient way. By breaking down problems into smaller parts and solving them individually, you can leverage existing knowledge and solutions to arrive at a complete solution for the original problem. For example, if you're trying to lose weight, a simple solution might be to eat less. However, this approach ignores the underlying causes of weight gain such as hormonal imbalances or a slow metabolism. By thinking beyond the immediate solution, second-order thinking allows you to develop more effective long-term strategies. Instead of resorting to fad diets or extreme measures, you can take a more holistic approach to weight loss by addressing the root causes of the problem and making sustainable lifestyle changes. This model also applies to various other aspects of life, from business to relationships. For instance, if a company is facing financial difficulties, second-order thinking would involve examining the underlying causes of the problem rather than simply trying to increase revenue. This can lead to more effective solutions that address the root causes of the issue and prevent it from recurring in the future. For instance, imagine you're trying to figure out why your car won't start. There could be multiple reasons for this, but instead of jumping to the most complicated explanation, such as a problem with the car's computer, It's best to start with the simplest one, such as a dead battery. Applying Occam's razor can save you time and effort by preventing you from chasing unlikely explanations or overthinking simple problems. In fact, studies have shown that humans tend to overestimate the complexity of problems, leading to unnecessary complications in our decision-making. Therefore, embracing Occam's razor can help you cut through the noise and focus on the most straightforward solution, saving you time and resources in the process. Instead of showing them the steps involved, you could explain what happens if they don't tie their shoes properly, such as tripping and falling. By highlighting the negative consequences of improper shoelace tying, you motivate them to learn the correct method. Similarly, if you want to improve your health, instead of focusing on the benefits of exercising, you could consider the detrimental effects of remaining inactive. Reminding yourself of the risks associated with poor health can be a powerful motivator to adopt a healthier lifestyle. You can ask questions, but the catch is that the person answering your questions might not know where the door is either. That's why they can lie to you. That's where the MAP model comes in. It provides a simple framework for breaking down complicated problems into smaller, more manageable parts. The MAP model consists of 3 key elements, each represented by a different letter. The first M stands for the main problem or goal. To effectively use the MAP model, start by clearly identifying your main problem or goal. This provides a focal point for your efforts and ensures that you stay focused on the most important aspects of the issue. Next, P represents the parameters or constraints of the situation. These are the limitations or boundaries that need to be taken into account when developing potential solutions. For example, if you're trying to increase sales, a parameter might be the budget for advertising. Finally, it stands for alternative solutions or actions that can be taken to address the main problem or goal. By brainstorming a range of alternatives, you can explore different approaches and increase the likelihood of finding the best possible solution. With these 3 elements in place, you can proceed to solve the problem or achieve your goal. The power of the MAP model lies in its simplicity and versatility. It can be applied to a wide range of situations, from personal problems to business challenges, providing a clear roadmap for finding solutions. By breaking down complex problems into smaller, more manageable parts, you can develop effective strategies and increase your chances of success. Your goal is to find the door while avoiding getting shot at. You start by asking questions to eliminate walls until you're left with only 1 or 2 possibilities. Then you ask follow-up questions to narrow it down further. This approach works because if everyone had perfect knowledge, no one would be able to deceive anyone else. But since we don't have access to all the information, we can use the war model to uncover hidden information. This approach helps us identify lies and inconsistencies, allowing us to make better decisions even when we don't have all the facts. There's simply too many variables to keep track of. So instead of wasting time trying to predict the price action of individual companies, focus on the ones that you know well enough to predict their future cash flow. These would be companies that operate in industries that you understand. And here's the key. Only invest in companies whose future cash flows are relatively predictable. It is much easier to accurately predict the future performance of a company that sells hamburgers than a company that develops new AI technology, because predicting how well AI technology will perform is just riddled with way too many unknowns. So stay within your circle of competence and avoid wasting time on things you don't fully understand. If you want to grow your circle of competence, then you need to spend more time learning about different industries. But remember, your time is limited, so don't waste it on things that don't matter. Only expand your circle of competence by acquiring knowledge in areas that have the potential to generate lucrative investment opportunities. No, it's the war model. This model can help you make decisions when you don't have access to all the necessary information. No, 3. The inversion model. When faced with problems, our natural inclination is to look for solutions that resemble those already in existence. Number 4. The MAP model. When dealing with complex issues or problems, it's easy to get lost in the details and lose sight of the big picture. Occam's razor. This model is a valuable tool for decision-making in situations where multiple explanations or solutions are possible. Number 6. Second-order thinking. When faced with a problem, many people tend to focus solely on the immediate solution without considering the broader implications. 7. Inversion. This mental model challenges conventional thinking by encouraging you to consider the opposite perspective. 8. First principles. This model involves breaking down a complex problem into simpler parts and then solving each part individually before putting them back together. 9. The 8020 principle. This principle states that roughly 80% of the effects comes from 20% of the causes. Number 10. Hanlon's razor. People often prefer to believe that others have ill intent rather than believing that they could be incompetent or ignorant. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other videos on mental models to fall for more success.